I'm Sharon Betters. Thank you so much for joining me for the Daily Treasure podcast. I am so grateful to hear from those of you who are touched by the different devotionals that we share every single day. I'm grateful for the guest writers. In fact, next week we will be introducing more guest writers to you with our What She Said series, and I'm so excited every time. And I love hearing from you when you thank me for introducing you to a writer that you weren't aware of. And so make sure that you look forward to those devotionals next week. So today's devotional is called Struggle with Me, and today's treasure is from Romans 15:30. I urge you, brothers, by our Lord Jesus Christ and by the love of the Spirit, to join me in my struggle by praying to God for me. Please, please don't stop praying. I don't know how it works, but I know it's the only reason I can face the next minute. My friend could barely speak through her tears. Her circumstances reminded me life turns on a dime, to use a familiar cliche. And when it does, we know what was normal 1 minute ago will never be normal again. In the days following her traumatic news, my friend and I often talked about the mystery of prayer. Her anguished cries resonated with my own journey and experience with the supernatural power of prayer in the days after the death of our son Mark. We wondered at the ability to do something as mundane as sleep when the ghost of grief stalked us every waking moment. Comments of faithful friends solved the puzzle. They were sleepless and praying for us through the night. My broken-hearted friend confided when sleep eluded her early in the morning, she thought it might be because her prayer warriors were sleeping. In every conversation, she wondered at her ability to face each moment of the day and said the only answer could be that God's people were obeying His mandate to pray for her family. Friends, prayer is a channel of God's compassion. We don't understand, but we know it's true. James 5:16 says the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. Prayer is a privilege that takes us into the sacred place of another person's anguish. The Apostle Paul conveyed the power of prayer in Romans 15:30. Notice the urgency and passion of his plea. I urge you, brothers, by our Lord Jesus Christ and by the love of the Spirit, to join me in my struggle. Listen, struggle, by praying to God for me. The root word for struggle is synagonizomai, which means to struggle in the company of. That is, to be a partner or assistant, to strive together with. Its root word, agonizomai, means to endeavor to accomplish something. Fight, labor, fervently strive. For example, to compete for a prize or to contend with an adversary. Paul considered intercessory prayer an opportunity to battle the forces that threaten the honor of Christ. His choice of words made clear that any who accepted his invitation to pray were agreeing to hard work and were actually present with him in his journey. Notice the word agonize in this root word. When you say, I'll pray for you, are you agreeing to agonize for that person's needs? Are you saying you're willing to become a partner in his or her circumstances? Perhaps the reason we don't pray as we should is because real prayer takes us to the front lines of the spiritual war zone. Prayer mysteriously connects us to one another emotionally and makes us participants in the soul work God is doing. It gives us a means to express our deep love for one another. Paul often reminded the early church that although he was not physically present, he was supernaturally connected to them through prayer. And what I just read is adapted from Treasures of Encouragement, the book that I wrote over 25 years ago. I wonder if, like my friend, tears and sobs accompanied Paul's pleas. Instead of feeling helpless in the face of great anguish, prayer enables me to help carry my friend's deep sorrow as I run to Jesus, collapse at his feet, and trust him to give my friend the treasures he has designed to help turn her heart toward him. The next time a friend pleads, pray for me, know God is offering you a priceless opportunity to be a treasure in the darkness that will help your friend remember that he is the Lord her God, the one who calls her by name. Well, friends, it's Wednesday, so it must be the day that we encourage you to check out our Help and Hope app. We have amazing stories, redemption stories that people have shared as a means of offering to you the help and hope of Jesus. And you can hear these stories, or you can even watch them now on YouTube, as we have just started offering video on our YouTube channel, Ask Dr. Betters. So you can go to helpandhopenow.org, where you can access these amazing redemption stories. But today, I want to introduce you to Glenna Marshall. Glenna is the author of The Promise is His Presence, Why God is Always Enough. But that's just one book that she has written. It's such an encouragement to talk to a woman who has been through infertility, ministry conflict, and chronic pain, when you know that if you had to experience just one of these life crises, it would be all-consuming. But all of them at the same time, and even more. How does a woman not just survive, but thrive? Well, Glenna talks to me about her journey and how it has taken her to some very broken places. But as you are going to hear, she discovered priceless treasures as she struggled to make sense of it all. So make sure you go to helpandhopenow.org, click the Help and Hope link, and check out my conversation with Glenna Marshall that is called God's Presence in Suffering. God's Presence in Suffering. I'm Sharon Betters, and I look forward to being with you tomorrow.